A special thank you to Glenn Kramer, Mark Ware, Byron Colley, Steve Dix, Bill Schreiber, Christopher Hunt, Felix Rodriguez, James Rogers, Norman Fair, Daniel Mayer, Kyle Sarpolis, Leland Lampkins, Lonnie Meisner, Michael Douglas, Paul Wood, Michael Scott, Samuel Draney, and Tom Champion.
Okay, it's Monday. Yes, Monday. And of course, the Enterprise E is done. I'm waiting for my friend Glenn to pick it up, which will be a week from this Wednesday. But back here is a K7. Now, he brought me also a K7 when he came out to visit over a month ago and asked if I could build both models and could I have them done by the 14th. I said, I guess so. Well, I have, I don't have quite 2 weeks to build a K7 and I don't want to rush it. And I have my K7, which hasn't been lit up for years. And when I did light it up, I found out that the little marker lights on each one of the little one of these was no longer working. I don't know why. And I have a board from Voodoo Effects that's for this so that the tops of these blink, which mine didn't have. So because and thank you, Tom Piedmont, better known as Model Man Tom, my dear friend Model Man Tom, who taught me never to glue these models together with anything but CA, because CA will not hold them together well enough that you can never get the pieces apart again. And sure enough, he was right, because I did do that and I've been doing all my models. So what he called surgery could be done to a model should the board go out inside, should we lose LED or anything like that. You could get inside and it works really well. So, because it's the first time I've really had to do it, because all my models have been very good about performing for years and years without any problems. This one didn't, just LEDs with resistors on them, and all three of them burned out. So let's take a look. So you can see these here, and I just snapped them off, clean as a whistle, off here. I can't do this with one hand, but you get the idea. And they just popped off. Also, I found I could get these off. One of these, there we go, which is good. I was able to get this open again very easily. And you can see, I've already had this open and you can barely even see the seam, especially when I push it together. So it'll go back together very well, as you can see, but yet, let's see if I can get this to open up. Nope. Ah! And there it is, it's open. And you saw how cleanly that was still together, and that's really amazing. So I am gonna put the board in this. I have good reason why, because I can easily, if I ever need to get in there, fix it. Let's see it light up. One of the things that's really cool about this model, and we'll turn off some of these lights. You can see the little lights all there really work well. And all I did was I made up some little squares, put them on there, a ton of paint, removed the little squares, the little pieces of tape, and that's all I needed to get it to light up. You can see there's stuff around this, and that was to dim it down because it was too bright before. But these don't work. Where are they? Right there. They're not lighting up. And they're there. Now, this is a custom base I made, which lights up. Let me turn the lights off. And I think you'll agree, this is just beautiful. Let's get it in some. Where's all that light coming from? Here. It's really pretty. And so that is a really neat thing. And this is wood. The little hanger bay down here is lit up, although this camera doesn't really want to get in there. And I don't know what's causing all this light, but you can see, hey, focus, that's lit up as well. And the camera's not showing it as well as it actually looks. Here we go again. So anyway, we're gonna repair this model and put in this board that Randy sent us. Where is it? Over here. Wire this up and get things all blinking, put it back together, touch up the paint, clean this up, and he'll have a nice K7 model to pick up when he comes down. And somehow, Mr. Thing got over here. Yes, thank you, Chris Wright, for Thing. And I keep moving him around. You know, if people are visiting, I'll move them. Anyway, I love that, Chris. Mary and I both love it. I love anything Addams Family. I even like the CGI Addams Family films and the one with Angelica Houston and Raul Julia. So let's get going. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm lighting up these first, and then I'm going to hook up the board. But there's the blue one. I just replaced the old blue one, and you know, did this up all correctly. Unfortunately, I'm noticing inside I didn't even use insulation on this, and that's because the model was for me. But that's not why these LEDs burned out. They just burned out for some reason. So, but they look good. So now I'm going to do the red and the green. Well, as you can see, I've got the red over here. I got the green over here, and then there's the bay, and then around here on the back side is the blue. So that's all lit up again. Isn't that nice? Now all I got to do is drill holes in the tops of those little domes, or whatever you want to call them, pyramids, and put in some white lights there that are going to blink from the board. Okay, this is the end of the day for me. I want to show you what I did so far. You can see, come on, light them. Doesn't look that bright. Believe me, it is when you're looking at the right angle. So those go, of course, up here, and I'm going to do that for each one of them. I can't remember if in the show they did that or not, but that's how Randy has his set up. And I put these blinkers right on the top. I just carved out a hole in the top, and the round of the LED matches it rather perfectly. So that's really, really cool. And this is this different board he gave me, which I just wired up basically. This is the common ground. This wire here is a common ground. Where is it? Oh, yes, no, no. Oh, geez. This one, it looks like it's red, but it's actually black, and that's the common ground. This goes to the power, and this goes, each one of these goes to a strobe that blinks. Isn't that cool? So that's going to do it for me today. I'm going to come back tomorrow and finish off the rest of this. And I'll turn the lights off. You can see the red, the green. Over here is the blue and the bay, and the main one is the original one, and how the lovely chevron, which again, something about this camera in blue, this is so fully lit and so nice. And I made this myself all by hand, cut this out about 12 years ago. So it's still working beautifully. So, and then we have our strobe down here that's working. There we go. Isn't that cool? So I got to hook up 3 more of those tomorrow. Oh, it's got a little green light in the board. Isn't that cool? That board is going to go inside there, and we're going to hook up all 3 of these strobes tomorrow on top, and that completes the lighting. We can put this model back together, clean it up. I may replace this decal. I don't know. I guess it's okay. I go over it with something to make it show up a little better. But yeah, that's going to be it. And this model will be ready for you, Glenn, when you get here. So yeah, awesome. Okay, here we go, sports fans. I gotta thank Thing for helping. Good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. Get it? Anyway, yeah, all the lights are in. Everything's blinking. It's funny. It blinks here, but it's delayed on video. Anyway, so that's all blinking. The hangar bay is all lit up. There's a bit of details in there. Oh, you know what? There's a darn flash on. There we go. The flash was on. Why would I want the flash on? You know, these darn machines, they think for you, and I don't appreciate it. I especially don't appreciate it. So there's our blue light, our red light, our green light. I gotta put the little domes over them back on still. And all that what you see, the clothespins and stuff, is being done so that, yeah, it's so nice. That's all being done so that it stays together till tomorrow. I put a couple different types of glue on it. But it really, I replaced every single light in this except this one, because I wasn't sure quite how I got in there, but it's working, so I think it's gonna be fine. Oh, on top of that, it's strip lighting, so that stuff lasts forever. Yeah, that's it. I mean, tomorrow I will touch up the seams, touch up a little bit of paint, and we've got a finished model. Okay, here it is. It's all finished. I redid the base. I think I talked about that, I don't know, or not. I got the lenses back on. They don't fit quite as good as they used to. And I didn't want to push too hard on them, otherwise we might end up having them pushed back inside the model, and that would be bad. Well, I can't get to that side. On this side, we got the blue light. That has a lens on it as well, so all lenses are on. I repainted the whole thing and weathered it a bit more, which I think looks really nice. The base looks so much cleaner. All the lights have been replaced. I'm going to turn the lights off for 1 second, Mary.
Okay.
There we are with the lights off. It looks, I love it. In fact, if I block the light, now I can see a little better. So that finishes this model, and tomorrow we're going to be doing laser cutter. Okay, we're going to end this weekly report. It's Friday. It's been kind of a lazy day. I got a request for making a Captain James T. Kirk EVA puppet. Now, that won't mean a lot to a lot of you, but for those of you that are Star Trek people, you will know that the EVA puppet was made for Kirk's exit from the Enterprise to go save Spock in the movie I worked on, or at least one of the Star Trek movies I worked on, Star Trek The Motion Picture. Still one of my favorites. I like smart science fiction. Sorry. This is the helmet. This is a helmet master. These were all made from the original puppet that Doug Drexler owned before he auctioned it off. That's the head of James T. Kirk. These are the arms. You can see some of the shapes in there. This is the chest pack or torso pack. This is the other arm. And you still probably don't know what the heck I'm talking about. These are the legs and the shoes. And in here, I will show you, hello Iron Giant, what it looks like. This one's, it's lit up and it's painted exactly the same way as the actual puppet used in the film. That one was a combination of rubber, very thick rubber, and it moved, and all of this was starting to rot, and a lot of it was starting, it had rough marks in it and stuff, and that's how the original was. We kept it all original, completely, and that's what these molds make. So I had a gentleman contact me this morning and he said, Steve, are you still making that? I said, let me check the molds and see if they're in good condition still. And if they are, yes, we can make you up one of these. The one thing I'm not clear on is this bubble. But if we have to, I can make a new one. To vacuum form on, yeah. And we actually have light in here now. Isn't that something? So, that's what that's for, and if he gives me the go-ahead, we'll be making one of these historical figures up from a very historical movie. And over here, at the end of the day, I'm just doing some testing, and I'm doing testing with engraving. You can see here I've got a little Fiat 124 Spider graphic I thought would be nice to have, seeing how I actually own a Fiat 124 Spider and love it dearly. And I got some test wood here that came with the kit. I'm going to try doing a burn on. Now this will be my first engraving, and I have no idea what I'm doing, not really. I know how to cut with this machine and cut parts for model kits, but I never tried engraving, so I'm going to do a little test. I got a whole sheet here to play with, and I probably could make this smaller, but what the heck? Let's see what happens. I'm going to hit start. It's saying its cuts will be out of bounds, which I don't understand. So I'm going to say no. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit this button here, which frames it. And this will show me exactly where the cut goes. And you can see that it's not out of bounds. So I'm going to say, okay, I think we're good. The other thing I can do too is I can go up here. It's been so long since I've used this, but I'm remembering everything. Let's do a preview. I'm curious to see what this is going to do. So save image, start here, play. This may take a very long time, and that's what I'm curious about. So, so far I don't see it doing anything, which is why it's always good to do the preview. So I'm gonna wait a minute here and see what it does. And so far it's doing nothing, and then I will, we can speed up the playback speed several times, and still nothing is, oh, it is doing it very slowly down here. So what the problem with this is the graphic's not clean. So it's actually burning in all this other stuff around behind the background, but it is working. Now, if we do it at playback speed of, let's see, +1, it's very slow. It's gonna take all day. So what I need to do is go in and clean this graphic up. Okay, that would have taken a long time to burn. In fact, about a half hour. So I need to go back into Photoshop and pull the graphics out and clean them up and make them into PNGs and make them very crisp and sharp so there's no background noise, and it'll print that much faster. But for now, I just wanted to do an engraving test. And so I'm running at about, speed is saying 500 really. I guess it can go that fast. I did tests at that speed. Well, this is a test. So what I wrote was Fiat 124 Spider, parking only, SNG Studio, and that's going to go out on the door when I plan to get that car out of there, so there's no trailers blocking my way. So just a test. Let's see what it does. So I already did a preview on it, and if I tell it to start here, and I'm going to go at 1 times, because that's accurate, and I'm going to tell it to play. And you can see that this is the speed it's going to burn at, and it's going to burn this fairly quickly. And if I want to tell how much time it's going to take, I move this up so it's really fast, and I can watch this down here, and I can see exactly how long it's going to take. 5 minutes. I think I can do 5 minutes. So, okay, so now everything looks right, and we're going to do our first little engraving on this piece of wood, and we'll see how it comes out. First thing I want to do, though, before I do anything else, is I want to set the focus on this, and I think it's just about right. So it's very easy to release this, but yeah, I could raise it up a little bit. So I'm going to do that before I push the start button. Okay, so I put the little arm down, I checked it. I'm going to frame it one more time to make sure I'm staying within parameters. There we go. And now we're going to grade, because I have not done engraving before. So all you do is you go down here. Help if I pointed that. And I'm going to push start. It says I'm going to cut out of bounds, but I'm not. And there it goes. It looks like it's doing it. Now, if I want it to be deeper and more apparent, I can just have it do it again. But then the next time I do something like this, I'll know with this particular material, I need to go up. I'm so concerned I'm not wearing the glasses. I am. In power is all. And it seems to be doing the job. Oh, it sure is. This is so cool. I love it. And again, I can't thank all of you enough for contributing to this effort for Mary and I to have this machine, because it's going to probably keep our doors open at the studio, which will close in 2 years when our lease runs out if we don't start getting more business. So in addition to that, I want to thank Carl Soto, who is bringing over a Creality 3D printer that he can't use. How about that? So we're going to have a 3D printer too, so I'll be able to print out all kinds of interesting objects and make all kinds of interesting products from SNG Studio. And basically keep up with everyone else who is moving into the modern push-button age. But I'm still going to be able to do my art with it and make, I'll just be doing it a different way. I'll be sculpting in the computer and cranking it out, or sculpting in person, in clay, and then scanning it, putting that in. The art will only maintain. I'm using a different tools that will allow me to speed things up and keep up. Otherwise, I'm going to be left behind. I prefer fully hands-on, but honestly, I couldn't do a sign like this quickly. So it's just so cool. We'll come back in a minute and look at this when it's all done. So I hope you enjoyed this week's update. Yes, there's lots of more things to see inside of my office. You can see a little bit of it as I pan around, and the masts over there. Oh my God, there's a Stargate and the monolith is opening. Anyway, you guys, I will see you next week. And as always, thank you for all the support, all the love. And remember, visit, where is it? There it is. Buy me a coffee, because that's where our shop is, where you can buy our products. It's absolutely free to visit and look at. You do not have to subscribe. You do not have to donate to buy me a coffee. It's simply another website where we have our store, and you can buy those masks and a bunch of other stuff. And if you feel so inclined, we wouldn't mind the support many of you have by giving us $5 a month, which goes a long way to keep this place going, and the videos and all the projects we do. Thank you so much.